Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Pekin Freeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iRacing IndyCar Open Series here at lovely WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Scott Rankin with Marco Barbonera in the production booth, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV. Scott,
Tell you what, Austin,
we're back.
It has been one heck of a warm-up for these series. We're both sitting here just yelling Indy at each other for what, half an hour? 45 minutes?
I was looking in the mirror and I was doing it for literally when I got the news that this was coming back to Apex Racing TV.
3 weeks?
Pretty much 3 weeks, and then ever since I went to the Indy 500, it's just been always here.
Well, excitement levels are through the roof. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. This is the first real time for me getting deep into the current IR18. And look, I've been following along. I mean, I'm an Aussie, right? I've got to follow my man. It's Scott McLaughlin, right? I've got to, all of a sudden, I've got this renewed interest in IndyCar. But Laguna Seca, it's just amazing track, amazing circuit, amazing opportunity to bring back the IndyCar series.
Yeah, the 1 week right before we go back to Laguna Seca for the real-life IndyCars, we come over here and have a little fun on iRacing with the new tire model, too, as well. And this new tire model, everyone's been praising it. You can kick out the cars sideways, you can lean on the tires. Oh, man, it's absolutely fantastic to drive this car. And we got a lot of faces here. And one of our favorite faces, hey, we even got some real-life drivers here. Tyler Maxson is on the track right now. What I believe he is the Michelin Pilot TCR driver for the Hyundai Veloster. And he actually just invalidated his lap. Or we were just in slow-mo.
I was going to say, commentator's curse already? We're only in qualifying.
It's on Tyler, we're friends, we're good.
Look, I mean, lap times coming in at this point in time, 106.490 for Philip Kraus is actually the pole time. I was actually watching him earlier on. I actually think he got in the kink heading up the hill during his qualifying lap. He actually kicked the car out a little bit sideways. So I think he invalidated one of his 2 laps, and that was the other lap. So look, times are actually really, really close right up at the top of the board, and there's still drivers out there circulating at this point in time. 1 lap on the board for all but the bottom 4 at this point, Austin.
Yeah, absolutely close times up here at the top. Top 10 within 9 tenths of each other, and that's going down all the way to 12th place. Whether we break that 1 second gap, just like a real IndyCar, the qualifying times are absolutely on point, and everybody just knows these cars through in and through out. They know how to push them here. 3 minutes left here in qualifying, and it's absolutely, oh, this is a barnstormer up front. We got Vass and Cross in that very tight fight up there. Crane sitting in third, just 3/10 back, as we're looking at a few of our drivers coming across the time. That's Ross Woodford, the #1 driver of the session, coming home in 9th place. And oh, we got a car up in the wall in qualifying.
Team drivers are just pushing the limits just a little bit too far. I've just seen John Schwartz is off track and whatnot as well, so he's ruined a lap for him, so that was his first lap. There's still a bunch of time still on the board, so we still got about 2.25 minutes or so left on qualifying, and times, nothing seems to be settling down. I'm just trying to keep an eye on drivers who are still out on track, and Vaz is still turning laps, so that he's on his 2nd lap at this point in time.
I think he's already on his 3rd lap, actually. Hey, you gotta learn, when you're learning the car, you gotta just learn the track, do more laps, always try to find it, and everything to get good. And Vaz, probably one of the drivers that everyone should know coming into this race, comes across the line at this is a invalidated lap, but I believe that was exactly the same as the qualifying lap, a 106.53.
Oh yeah, the 2nd lap was actually invalidated, so no change in his 2nd lap.
No changes for pace and no changes for position as well. Sitting in 2nd, Luciano Gonzaga, currently sitting in 23rd.
We talk about probably some of the lower I-rated drivers in the field. I was having a quick look through the session. Strength of field for this one's at 3.9k. So the lowest drivers are just breaking under that 3,000 road I rating mark. So there was 2 drivers underneath that mark, which will be a 23 and 24 car, which is John Schwartz. Sorry, no, my apologies. It'll be the 25 and 26 cars, which will be Chris Wilty and Chris Eric Lemelin. But driver that's really out of sort of position is doing a phenomenal job is Alexander Van der Sant, 18th ranked car in the server. He's right up there deep in the top 10.
Yeah, Van der Sant is always a driver that everyone knows. And qualifying is actually over right now as this 4K strength of field race. Looks like Marco got that. Marco got that project component in there right on time. Thanks, Marco.
Well, it turns out I was wrong by 100. So there you go. Marco's better than I am. That's why we employ him, right? We need him in the booth because he's better than us.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of. He knows how to push all the buttons and stuff, and we just know how to yell at stuff. They're completely different skill sets.
Yeah, but if you push enough buttons, then eventually I'm going to have to yell at you. So, you know, the fact that Marco hasn't been yelled at yet is always a good thing. He's done a great job.
No. Marco doesn't yell at you. Marco yells at us.
Marco yells at us. Oh, so other way around. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
We
So
don't
anyway.
yell at Marco. Marco yells at us. Anyway. Qualifying is over, and it's Philip Cross sitting on pole position here at Laguna Seca with Vaz in 2nd place. You want him on the front row. Rolling starts here at Laguna Seca, so we got a lot of time to really burn around here, so I will let you take row 2.
Absolutely. Row 2 is going to be Adam Crane and Joshua Chin.
And in row 3, it's Connor Harrington and Richard Craig. Finish up row 3.
Row 4, Andreas Eich and Alexander Van der Sant.
Following them in row 5 is Ross Woodford and Tyler Maxon in 9th and 10th.
Off of 11 and 12th, you're going to have Daniel Manzano and Andrew Z. Wood. Great qualifying attempt from Andrew.
Andrew knows how to put it down. They're followed by Kevin Bashahala and Christian Ortarola in the row behind him.
Following that, it's going to be Tyler Newitt and João de Gregorio.
With James Clay and Dan Piazza. I was really trying hard not to say...
Dan Pizza.
I was trying hard not to say pizza.
Large pepperoni, please.
Marco is, well, there's the first Marco yell at you.
I've only been in the Apex racing team. I think this is like my 3rd or 4th broadcast. I've already had Marco yell at me, so it's a great time. Great time.
Well, to be fair,
anyway,
you didn't absolutely butcher his name the first time.
Chris Will Hyatt and Andrew Marquez off of 19th and 20th.
And in the penultimate row is Charles Eric Lemlin and Rob Ukanelik is behind them in 22nd.
Finally, we got Luizinho Gonzaga and Adriano Pinheiro. And I believe it's actually 25th and 26th as well.
Cars. Nasagi Yoshikawa, thank you, and Jonathan Schwartz make up our final 2 spots here. We're gonna get. Hey, it's start of the season. Start of the season.
Yeah. You just overcome with enthusiasm, excitement, and everything. You know, there's too much going on. You haven't settled in, Austin. I don't blame you. I mean, have you seen 26 cars go around Laguna Seca? Not for a long time is the correct answer.
Well, until IndyCar comes there in the upcoming week.
We have a car. Christian Otarola is in the fence and missing a wheel.
What? No.
On the warm-up lap.
We do not have that already.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do.
Oh, he was blinking and he just drove it into the wall. I feel like he was reported to be having troubles and has retired. Well, engine issues already on the opening lap here, or the pace lap here for the NTT IndyCar Series here on Apex Racing TV. I gave me goosebumps saying that.
Okay, so what it was, just getting a message in server, it's actually been, he's had a monitor failure right as he was going around that right-hand kink, and he's just driven across the right-hand side of the road because he had a blacked out screen.
And what Marcos said is because I messed up his name so bad that I killed him.
Look, I was trying to save you by not mentioning it, but
yeah,
you've killed yourself.
Anyway, besides butchering the names and everything, the pace car is pulling in. Season 4 of the iRacing NTT IndyCar Series is about to get underway. The lights are out and away we go. Great here at Laguna Seca.
Right down on the run towards turn number 1. It's going to be Kraus that looks like he's got it all held off, but it's the cars in behind. Vaz and Crane are fighting extremely hard on the run down to 1.
Side by side, they go through the Andretti hairpin. Vaz and Crane still fighting out right there. Crane sitting back in 3rd, followed by Harrington in 4th and Shin in 5th place. Everybody on those alternate tires. Nobody going for the primaries here in the official series. You do not need to switch tires to the different compounds, so everyone taking advantage. We got a little side-by-side action back here. Tyler Max is stuck in between the two of them. Ross Woodford and Alex Vanderzand going side-by-side, heading up to the bridge.
Overtaking move. Can he get it done by the kink? What? Sends it into the kink. He's been helped out, but no, the car in the background spinning it out. 2-1 does not go at the kink, especially with an IndyCar, and Van der Sant just gets on the gas and spins it out. It's going to be Kraus that continues to lead it. He's broken away by a second. I'm wondering whether or not he's trying to push the pass a little bit and just extend that lead. Just make sure he's got some clean air.
Absolutely, you want to get that draft out of there. We got chaos happening to the very last corner. Coming in very hot onto the brakes was the number 12 of, I think it was the Canadian Kevin, who was trying a little bit of action right now as Dano Mazzano gets jumped right there, and right behind him, that's Valdez Gregorio. Oh gosh. Oh no, I am messing this up. I am so sorry. Previously on October Weekly, Austin fans are talking stuff.
Oh look, the important part is you got Kraus, you've got Vaz, and you've got Crane out in front. That's the top three. Looking for guys that are jumping up in positions. Connor Harrington, it looks like, has grabbed one spot, and then Josh Chin, they've swapped spots on the opening lap. It's got a huge deal of moving up and down the field. 45 laps is the distance tonight as well. Look after those tires, those option tires. Yeah, they're the fastest tires, but you've got to make sure that you've got tires left at the end. Yeah, the tire strategies here. We have chaos in the corkscrew! Locking up on the brakes while gets into the back of Daniel right there, and Daniel looks to be... Oh, we got more chaos happening behind him. That's a 22 getting involved as well, who's spun around. Yeah, really good driving, actually. You saw multiple drivers off the circuit there. That's exactly the driver behavior that you want. Blind corner, very difficult to rejoin, but the guys picked it off. Keep your eyes here on Ike as well. Oh, look at Tyler Maxson trying to hold it around the outside of the Andretti hairpin. And Dryside got the apex right there, but Tyler going all the way to the outside. Now he's got the inside. Tyler Maxson setting up into the inside. Maxson up into 8th place. What a move from Maxson. Power move around the outside. I'm putting the foot down and saying maybe there was some push to pass burn there. Got to be a little bit conservative though. You can't just burn them all up in the opening phases of the race. Make sure that you're attaching yourself to a car ahead. Save some fuel. Sit in there. Yeah, you've got to be aggressive. Yeah, you've got to make sure that you're following them around. But you've got to make sure that you've got the rubber and the fuel underneath you to get you to the tail end of the race. Plan your strategy. Be patient. Make sure that you're going to be there at the end. This is Tyler you're talking to. The kid doesn't know patient. I don't know if you've ever seen Tyler race, but I've seen him race a few real life times. He's known for a few stints in the Global Mazda series and the TC. He's actually calmed down the TCR, if I say that. But he is flying away in 8th place. So I do believe you were right on your assumption of push to pass might have been used off the exit, but you can hold a lot of speed around the outside, especially on these new tires. That's just it. I mean, multiple different lines. Down into turn 1 at Laguna Seca, you're not really seeing a lot of these guys run it out there on the way into the Andretti hairpin, but where the road actually ends isn't at the edge of the road. There's actually a small cleared off cement surface on the right-hand side of the road, so you can actually open up the corner entry to the Andretti hairpin just a little bit and not receive a track limits violation. So yeah, you can get about entire car links out to the right and really extend that braking zone. And in the IndyCar, it's not that big of an advantage, but I know the slower cars, oh my gosh, the Formula Vs get out there, it's looking insane at times. Well, I mean, anything with a bit of weight behind it. I love racing Porsche Cup here, so. Wood is, he's got some front wing damage. Looks like Andrew Wood might have had an incident. Let's get a replay heading into the corkscrew. Oh, his big lockup, and ooh, took a lot of bounce damage right there, and yeah, bottom out the car. Front left wing is bent forward, but Andrew Wood continuing on. Yeah, look, I mean, he's going to be stuck with that. There's not much he can really do. I'm not really 100% sure on what the pit lane strategies are going to be, if they can actually make it to the end. It seems very unlikely that they'll be able to, but there's a good chance. I mean, you know, you never know what these guys will be able to do in terms of fuel. For my mind, he's got to come in and get that nose cone changed as early as possible. He's losing a lot of time. Speaking of getting nose cone changed, wow, in 12th place is missing the entire left side of his front wing, but he's still staying out there. So definitely not affecting him that much. They head into one of the fastest corners here at Laguna Seca, and somehow he is actually making that car work. Hey, when the car is only turning in one direction, it kind of helps you here. Yeah, it's nearly like an oval, isn't it? There's just a couple of kinks back to the right. You Americans and your chicanes, what is it with you guys? You know. There's a straight here. There's not enough action happening. I know, a chicane! Hey, I'm not a track designer at all. I'm Texan. I like Coda, okay? Coda is just one giant chicane in my mind. But I'm heavily biased too. Push to pass being used by James Clay right here, trying to get past the Brazilian ahead of him. Look, he's got to be aggressive. If you have a look at that nose cone, he's definitely holding that pack up. They're all bottlenecked in behind him. He's close now. He's very, very close. And he is turned! Chaos at the Andretti hairpin. 2, 3, 4 cars involved. Make that 5 cars. And we got a car without an entire back left wheel. Somebody needs to call their pit crew and make a scheduled stop, as Tyler Newitt is around. That back left wheel is not there. He's going to get a tow. Chaos here.
chaos here on lap 6 here in the NTT IndyCar Series. And oh, that's the biggest netcode I've ever seen from Tyler right there.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, you've got to be aware of who you're racing around you and the circumstances that they were in. Look, you know, benefit of, we were talking about before the broadcast as well, I'm an Aussie, so netcode's kind of, you know, we just get used to it. So, look, I mean, ultimately, he was trying to take advantage of the attempted overtake on Di Gregorio, and it's just a little bit too deep. There is nothing in that. It is minor.
Well, we had people in chat saying, hey, there's going to be carnage on lap 1. You're a few laps off, but absolutely chaos right there early on. And we have 4 cars in the pits: Newitt, Clay, Chris Whittle, and Rob in that 24 car. All of them heading into the pits. And, wow. Chaos already as Alex Vanderzant goes up onto the inside of the Andretti hairpin for 15th.
Good move too, really strong move. I mean, it's just set, again, continuing to set yourself down. Van der Sand's dropped a lot of spots down now, so he's going to put the head down. And look, I mean, you know, there's not a huge deal he can do from back here, but he's just going to be patient, just pick off cars. There's going to be opportunities, and he's going to make sure that he's still there to collect them. I mean, if you're off the track like a few of our drivers already are, then you can't pick up on those opportunities. So.
Yeah, Tyler Newitt came into the chat, let us know that he wasn't trying to pass, he was just trying to keep it tight. And unfortunately, that happened right there in the Andretti hairpin. So, very unfortunate for you, Tyler. We'll hopefully you get back into the car later, but I know you are missing a wheel. So, if you get back on track, it'd be great to see you there. If not, we'll see you next week.
And look, I mean, it wasn't really an overtaking opportunity, and I mean, he's come into the chat and said that, but you could also see it from his body language of his car as well. He wasn't attempting to overtake, but because of the way that the cars ahead of him were attempting to make the pass, then there's nothing that literally could be done. They had to check up aggressively, and ultimately, I mean, he should have probably been a little bit more aware that there was probably going to need to be a slightly more checkup, but it's one of those snap decisions, and I don't blame him in any case.
As we sit here, beautiful California weather, 77% humidity in the air, 67 degrees in the air right now, 97 degrees on track, so it's a little bit hot out there, so some of these cars are getting a little bit crazy right now, but you know, beautiful 3-mile-per-hour winds, not going to be affected that arrow that much right now, as Connor Harrington sitting in 4th place. He's got Joshua Chin right now. Chin's using his push to pass to pull ahead of Rashard Craig.
He clearly wants to be aggressive. He wants to be one position further up at this point in time. So look, I mean, that whole chain, if you have a look at it, we've got first and second off on their own, right? They're running in their own air, no real anything that's going on. From there on, you've got Crane, who's in this huge sort of train all the way back to about 7th spot, which is Ross Woodford, who's in the back of the shot, all the way back up in there. And then you've got Pinheiro, he's running all the way down the order in, sorry, excuse me. And then, you know, there's multiple other trains going on around the circuit as well. You've got 12th and 13th in a close battle, 9th and 10th are somewhat close together, and you've got a chain from 16th back to 19th. So starting to see a few little battle packs, and aero wash is going to be a huge factor at Laguna Seca, as it always is.
Yeah, Dirty Air is crazy. And look at this move by Adrian. He's got a great run through the little kink, down up onto the inside, heading to the corkscrew in. Pinheiro making it work for P12.
Look, he's got to get that move done. That wing just ahead of him is from Gregorio. That's holding them up, and he's the bottleneck. He's attempting to defend for night and day. He wants to keep that spot because he obviously is nowhere near within his pit window. He's nowhere near within getting home from here, so he can't afford to come in. Any time that he keeps the cars behind him right now is time that he's saving later on when he's got pace again.
Absolutely. Kraus sitting up there in the lead, 2 seconds ahead of Vaz, and Vaz has used one push to pass already. Kraus has not used the push to pass yet right now. The driver who has used the most push to pass is actually down to 6 uses left, and that's Andrew Wood down in 11th place.
Yeah, you can also see that Wood was getting aggressive on those opening couple of laps. So look, I don't blame him. And now he's trying to close back up on the draft chain that's ahead of him. So look, he was aggressive on those opening couple of laps. He's had some issues, and you know now he's going to put the head back down again. I'll tell you what, isn't this a pretty picture from Van der Sant down over the corkscrew, 2 cars right in front of you?
It's always fun. It's always fun having cars in front of the corkscrew, but you know you really have a car that is damaged. I think people came over the radio and said, hey, he's damaged, and is going to try to get ahead. And he had to get off the throttle right
Here's his opportunity.
there. Well, wow, right ahead of him is actually using push to pass to keep him behind him and using that defensively. And Alex van der Zandt is really had a bad exit right there as he almost got into the back of the Brazilian.
Yeah, look, I mean, if he gets a good exit, I think he's got him. Like, I don't even think it's close. Like, Gregorio's suffering so bad with that missing nose cone. Look at the lack of aero he's got in the front of that car. Van der Zandt's got this.
Oh, no, he's taking it easy. Around the outside goes, wow, right there as Alex van der Zandt staying on the gearbox. This is where he was overtaken last time heading into the corkscrew. Doesn't have the better run. Defending onto the inside, Alex van der Zandt, I feel like his best bet will be coming out of the corkscrew and heading onto the start-finish straight. But, you know,
coming off that,
battling with aero damage, this is impressive.
Yeah, Gregorio's doing a great job. Like, all power to him. Look at how close he is now from Van der Zandt. This is the high aero area. What he's going to do here is he backs the corner up a little bit, so he's not quite at the gearbox, and he's just trying to get the car launched.
Van der Zandt using push to pass, got it on SDK right here, gets into the back of the arrow, around to the outside. Van der Zandt going to try to do it. Tyler Maxson holding around the outside all the way out into the dirty track, and gets covered off right there. Gregorio, what a defensive line right there. Alex had a lot of pace, but just locked it up in the braking zone.
It's important, and he didn't get the launch that he wanted to off the last corner either. He was looking for it, and as soon as you lock the brakes, you just compromise your entry. You can't get back to the throttle as soon as you want, which really compromised him. But look at Gregorio's defensive habits. Like, the guy is doing a phenomenal job for only half a front wing.
A little chaos hap there. Nagasia having a little bit of trouble. Ooh, Charles getting a little bit crazy over the corkscrew, getting into the, well, I would say grass at times, but right now it's just dirt. Off the exit. And have you ever seen Laguna Seca in grass just in the spring? It's beautiful here.
It's like, what, that really vibrant green color, and it's, what, there for all of like a month?
Yeah,
it goes back to dirt.
Yep, here we go. Van der Zandt going to try it again around the outside. Keeping a much tighter line this time, keeping it in the rubbered in area, but very well defended by Gregorio. You know what he might try to do? He might go to try to do an undercut right here.
The other thing that Van der Zandt's going to do, I think, is he's going to throw a fake. I don't think, because Gregorio is blocking, right? So Gregorio knows that he wants to get by. This run up to this turn right here, I think is probably his best shot. Coming into the turn 5 and turning left and going up the hill, I think is probably one of his best opportunities to get this move done. Look at the launch he gets here, and Gregorio just covers the inside going to the.
I thought that was going to be an attempt around the outside, but I know over the weekend around the outside moves and chicanes gonna get a little bit crazy.
So what Van der Zandt wants to do is he wants to throw what I said he wants to throw the block. He's down the inside.
Oh my gosh.
So he wants to throw the fake. And why he wants to throw the fake is he wants to Gregorio to go to an unpreferred line so that he's slow. Then he gets him on the exit. He doesn't want to try, if this isn't working, right? He's tried this 3 times. Do this once, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times? Well, I mean, pick a different overtaking place, please, at Van der Zandt. Throw a fake, throw it down the inside here.
Well, Gregorio's diving up to the inside immediately, coming out of that exit. So Gregorio, he knows that disadvantage. He's going to make this as hard as he can for Alex van der Zandt. He's got all 2 wings. He's going around the outside right there. Van der Zandt says, thank you very much. I hope I don't see you again. He used 3 push-to-pass attempts behind, just trying to get by Gregorio, but he's eventually done it for 14th. And, man, we're 15 laps into this race already.
Yeah, look, I mean, I love Laguna Seca. I mean, it's really, really difficult in terms of circuit design, circuit building to not love Laguna Seca. I loved it when MotoGP used to come here. I've got really, really good memories of watching MotoGP races growing up as a kid. But it's a difficult track to overtake on. It's narrow, the corner entries are tight, the straights are short, you kind of can't really get a run. You've got to just absolutely send it. It's one of the only detracting factors from Laguna Seca because it's just such a phenomenal track. But look, I mean, you could see how down Di Gregorio was on power there and the aero wash, and he still couldn't get the move done. Anyway. I want to keep my eyes on this 3rd through to 7th chain as well, because they're still relatively close together on the track. Austin, have you got any driver in particular that's your favorite out of the field so far?
I think I've already made it clear that I do have a few friends in this field. I know Tyler, him and I go way back. He's cool. Adam Crane, he's cool. Connor Harrington, he's cool. Ross Whitford, cool. Pretty much everyone in this field is cool. I would say
because they're driving an IndyCar?
Yes.
You're an easy man to please.
I am an easy man to please. You know, give me IndyCar. Give me IndyCar. Give me an amazing race, and give me an ice cold can of a good beverage, and we're having a great time.
Oh my god! Did I just? Oh. I'm stuck in this booth. Let me out! Somebody let me out, please!
You're stuck in here with me. Be prepared for cautions to be fun on ovals.
Oh my god, you're one of those drivers? I'm like normally the one that's entertaining on cautions on ovals. Because like everyone's like, oh my god, Australian accent, you guys say some weird things. And then I start calling people pelicans.
We also got cool people in the chat. Lorenzo's cool. Hi, Lorenzo. He said towards Austin already. I can't stand this, but I feel like being called cool has forgiven his hatred of me. All right, cool.
Look, Lorenzo's an IndyCar fan, and if he's as much of an IndyCar fan...
He's not driving, quote, to give the boys a chance.
I don't think Philip Kraus would have needed it, though, to be perfectly honest. What a race he's driven so far.
Oh, Kraus does not... I think he might need a little bit of challenge. 2 seconds in the lead. Absolutely no one by it. Oh my gosh.
You okay? You settled?
Yeah, I'm settled. I wasn't expecting him to go out that wide, but we were talking about how wide he could go into that braking zone. And Yoshikawa really showing that off right there.
Yeah, he's really trying to open the corner up. Now, the one bad part that it does have to it is it does make you vulnerable to being dive bombed up the inside. But I think he's been using it with caution, and he's only been using it whenever there's not a car close enough to attempt that maneuver. So he's been doing a great job as Yoshikawa.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to set up the inside as you're, well, way off to the outside right there, because heading into the braking zone too wide, being on the outside can make it work, but when these tires start falling off, you do not want to try to push these tires in all their luck.
Talking about that, I mean, obviously I follow a fair bit of Formula 1. I mean, it's not obvious, but I follow a fair bit of Formula 1, so, and I am aware of the alternate versus the primary. Like, do you know what the tire life is like around here? Because I don't know. I'm definitely going to have to jump in an IndyCar before next week and do a lot of laps.
I actually do know what the tire life is around here, and I can tell you that the tire life, thanks to Apex Racing Academy, tire life does fall around about to 1.5 seconds down. The fall off is around 1.2 seconds, which is pretty typical compared to the old tire model, but around 5 to 10 laps is really when you start feeling the car go, and the driver's going to really have to adjust their ARB. And thank you, Apex Racing Academy, for these driver notes and helping me, as always, drive a better IndyCar and give us driver notes. We got a 25 car is slow on the track right there, just came out of the pits, and he's letting everyone else by.
Yeah, good job. Really good awareness. I mean, his goal now is to just get back out there, turn laps, pick up anything that happens. There's a car off at the kink. There's a lap car, actually. Rob Ungelnex is just got off at the kink.
And update from Lorenzo, it's actually Ungle next.
Ungle next? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get
Thank
that
you,
one, yeah.
Lorenzo, for letting us know that. And yeah,
So there you
pit
go.
window is going to be very, very intense. It's not a fuel race, but it's just barely halfway. We might see some drivers try to go on 17.5 gallons of fuel or take the entire full tank halfway and try to short fuel it at the end. But it's about halfway around this race, but it's a very small fuel window.
There you go. Well, if it's only going to be 1 to 2 laps, I mean, we're coming up on that quite quick at the moment. We're on the 20th lap now, so we've only got 2 to 3 laps to go. And I mean, if you're in a few of these guys' positions, you're looking for undercuts. You gotta make sure it works. The guys I'm looking at is 5th, 6th, 7th. So we've got Chin, Craig, Woodford. Those guys have potentially got an undercut on the 3rd and 4th place guys. Also, the guy that's in 7th is Woodford. Has got the biggest opportunity here. If he can get out early and just make go, he's got a huge opportunity. Anyone that's bottled up in behind Di Gregorio, also Di Gregorio is probably one of the drivers who will attempt to make the undercut with that damaged wing, because that'll pick him up a whole bunch of pace as well.
Yuki Shop. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get this name at the end of the season. Yoshi
Kawa.
Kawa. Thank you. Yoshikawa.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to get this name before the end of the race. Thank you.
By the end of the season? Yeah, by week 2.
Yeah. Hey, I said pretty wide goals for me.
Mate, let's just set the field goal posts up. We'll set one inside the left-hand side of the stadium and one inside just on the top right-hand side of the stadium, and just anywhere in the middle. Anywhere in the middle will do.
Well, I actually like that. I actually like that analogy because I was a field goal kicker when I played football. So, American football to the Europeans.
Gridiron to the Australians.
Yeah. Regular in America.
Well, look, at least our footballs are still oval as well.
Yes. You actually know the right shape, so you're good. And I actually like watching their football as well.
Yeah, what is with that?
Oh,
COVID
pit stop. Chin into the first. Chin going to the pits first with 25 laps to go. Joshua Chin being the first driver to attempt the undercut here at WeatherTech Laguna Seca.
He's pit from what, P4?
Yeah,
P4, so he's
P4.
attempting to just get past Crane. But I think the biggest issue is he's just trying to prevent the undercut. Look, like we said earlier, it's so easy to defend around here that the getting in early, provided that you've still got enough push to passes as well, you're basically locking up that spot.
Absolutely. Your tires everyone's tires has dropped off to 1.2 seconds off the pace. He's going to be 1.2 seconds faster
Everyone will be in this lap.
If he gets a amazing out lap and just absolutely locks it down, might use a little bit of push to pass, Joshua Chin will have that spot almost a little bit contact off the exit with Alex van der Zandt and Kraus heading into the pits.
Well, see, that's the important part there, is because
Vaz stood out.
Vaz stayed out. That's a big... I mean, Vaz is trying to go the long way. I mean, there's no one really pressuring him from behind, so the reverse undercut's not really going to... he's not going to get undercut by somebody behind him, basically. So he can attempt the overcut here. He's not going to get the undercut done on Kraus. That's not good enough. Van der Zandt's off at the kink, by the way, as well. And I was just keeping an eye on Joshua Chin. That's crucial for him that Van der Zandt's off at the kink, because that means he can just get on it on this lap and see if he can get clear.
Wood heading into the pits as well. Big pack into the pits as Kraus is the first one, and first one coming out of the pits. Vaz Ike staying out.
Gonna be close.
But this is going to be very close. Look at Joshua Chin. Remember how he tried to beat him out for third place. We're going to see it right here coming out, and that is close. Just ahead of Craig. He did lose spots right there. Might have had a little bit of issue. Remember, he came out behind Van der Zandt. Did Van der Zandt hold up Joshua Chin?
No. Van der Zandt spotted at the kink and didn't really hold him up. And I'm wondering whether or not that aero wake was a huge issue through this section of the lap right here. Now, crucially, he will have warmer tires, whereas these guys will have cold tires. So if he's going to get a move done, he has to sort of get it done before the end of the lap when those tires start to normalize.
Heading through the corkscrew once more. Chin on the back of Harrington, Vaz, and Ike heading into the pits. Philip Kraus returns to the lead using push to pass down the straight and building a big gap to everybody else. And we got a little bit of action right here. Crane, well, Chin and Harrington getting out to the dirt right there. Harrington going a little bit wide to defend from Joshua Chin as they use push to pass. Both of them using push to pass down the front straight, heading into the Andretti hairpin. Side by side they go. It's not going to be there. But Rashard Craig on the back of Joshua Chin. Really going to try that. But yeah, as everyone's gone to the pits, Chin has lost
Somebody
spot.
just went into the fence.
Oh, well, that's Vaz into the fence.
What? No, we've just lost Pete.
Vaz just went into the wall. Second place, locked it up, coming out of the Andretti hairpin into the wall. And that suspension damage to the highest degree. Comes back out on track. And oh no. Our second place runner, Vaz, is out of the race. That is insane.
And cold tires. Cold tires.
Cold
Remember what I
tires.
was saying about the opportunity for Chin to try and get the move done on those warmer tires versus the cold tires? Well, that hasn't happened. So Harrington's going to assume third place, and Crane will jump up to second.
Also, we have a little bit of strategy as, Bobushala getting very feisty right here behind Andreas Ike. Ike really struggling to find grip or pace coming out of the corkscrew right there. Push to pass being used by both these drivers in the draft. And here is Kevin. You can see push pass being used by the dashboard on the wheels, trying to squeeze it around the outside right here. It's not going to be there. Both of the drivers really on top of the game on these new tires. But wow, absolute really tight battle right here. Russ Woodford is on primaries.
What?
Ross
Okay,
Woodford
that's
is
gonna
on
be
primary
interesting.
tires. He's the only driver that has gone on to primary tires. James Clay has switched on to primaries as well, but James Clay was involved in an incident as well as Andrew Marquez. They're also on primaries, but the highest running primary driver is Russ Woodford in 6th place, and he still has all 10 of his push to pass uses.
He's just going to try and drive this thing as hard as he possibly can for the remainder of the race, and he's just not going to suffer that fall off. He's trying to give himself an opportunity. He's got to do something different, and I mean, he's sitting in this hole behind these guys, so he's got that ability to do so, but, you know, we'll see if he can pull it off.
Absolutely, Kevin Bobasala getting the push to pass being used off the exit through the kink. Not going to be right there. And same as well, that's Alex Vanderzet doing what I was saying, but didn't use push to pass as SDK lights up green when somebody uses push to pass. If y'all want to know what timing software we're using the probably one of our favorite timing softwares, and that's SDK. Shout out to all of them. They make all these beautiful graphics up here, and they provide some great tools to use for spotting and commentating.
And it's really, really handy for us doing the commentating here because we can use slave mode as well, so allows us to all be using our in-game to follow exactly what our broadcaster Marco is picking up.
Oh, that's off track right there for Charles Eric Lemon as Alex Van der Zandt gets an easy spot.
Well, he's going to attack him back.
Well, no, he had the spot, but yeah, you got grass on the tires. You ain't going to go immediately back onto that attack unless you want to see your car and another car go off into a wall and probably a fist fight.
IndyCar seems like the gentleman's sport, really, in
Yes.
terms of things. You don't see a lot more fights, as you know. NASCAR's a lot more raw.
Yeah, we don't talk about that here.
This is the gentleman. This is the fine wine of motorsports in America.
Wouldn't really call it wine, as I don't drink. So.
Okay.
And I know IndyCar's not really posh too. I can tell you a few Indy 500 stories of of fans and about an entire mountain of Budweiser beers behind me. In the stands on the front straight of this year's Indy 500 and a lot of other stuff. It's a good time.
It's a good time for you. I haven't left the house in 3 months.
Yes.
Yeah, lockdowns in Australia. Yeah.
Anyway, on a more positive note, sunshine here in California.
Oh, look. Yeah, look, it's been an amazing race. I mean, so far. Look at the lead, though, that Kraus has got. It's, what, 13, 14 seconds at this point? Bang on.
Yeah, bang on 13 seconds, and Kraus has been driving in an error-free race. Absolutely nothing going wrong. Speaking of something going wrong, car background went out a little bit wide right there. As this is Philip Kraus working on lapping a few more cars right here, as this is Lemlin ahead of him.
Yeah, so he's going to be careful here. And the lappers, by and large, with what I'm seeing, have been pretty cautious. I think we're going to see P19, P18 were the two cars that were just in the background of the shot of Philip Kraus as well. So, so it would be Vaz is back out on track. So that one of those was him. He's at 3 laps down. John Schwartz is at 2 laps down. So we'll walk through the drivers that are currently laps down. So you got Christian Oderola. We saw that issue on the pacing lap.
Yeah, he's actually out of the race. He retired immediately. Very sad to see him not start this race. You know, the only Argentinian driver in the field. Be good run by an Argentinian driver here, and he was looking pretty quick. Dan Piazza in 25th, multiple laps down, didn't finish the first lap, was involved in the incident as well. James Clay, a few laps down, he retired from the race. Tyron Newitt retired from the race, as well as Rob Uncle Next, thank you. Yeah, those are all of our retired drivers. The first driver laps down that is still on track is actually Chris Whittle down at 21st.
I believe that's Will Height. Or Will Hote. Who knows? Pronunciation, the English language. It's weird and wonderful.
Yes, it is. Especially for a Texan.
Not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
You can touch away. It's all right. I've been jarred by Marco for a while.
No, because like I have like I'll get into my Texan accent very quickly. I love doing American accents, by the way. Don't know why.
Yeah, I'd stay away from that.
But seriously, like we're in the back phase of the race now, 15 laps to go. So a lot of these drivers are just sort of in circulation mode. So Kraus now is just chalking laps off. He doesn't need to push. Numbers aren't important. That's him. He just needs to keep managing that gap, and he's managing it very, very effectively. It's out over 14 seconds now. Race scenario for the drivers that are in behind him, though, is a little bit more difficult. Adam Crane has got Connor Harrington locked up in behind him, and the last time by the stripe, Connor Harrington and Joshua Chin were 6/10 of a second apart.
Yeah, they're
Rashad
in a very
Craig is now.
fight.
Yeah, he's now fallen off the back of that fight. Woodford as well has also fallen off the back of that fight, and then you've got Maxon, who's 8 seconds back. So all sort of fairly well apart. Then the next real battle you've got is Pinheiro and Luis Gonzaga Filio, which are both pretty much. Well, they were bang on the same sort of section of the track. They're just at the faster sections of the track in the back end now. So we'll get an update to that battle very quickly.
Yeah, a good battle right here. That's going to turn up into a very good fight with 15 laps to go. Hey, anything can happen at the end of this race. And let me tell you, some drivers are at dangerous levels with their push to pass. Some 3 drivers are at, well, actually, yeah, those 3 drivers that we're talking about, Chin, Craig, and Harrington, are all at 2 push-to-pass uses left, so it's going to be a really hard-fought battle around them, as well as knowing when to use those push-to-passes.
You've always got to save them. Van der Sant obviously had to ban a lot because that pass on Di Gregorio was very, very important to his race. scenario. So definitely him burning up those, but it, you know, it makes him vulnerable now. But the time that he gained through using those was massive. So look, I mean, you've got the opportunity to burn them or hang on to them and use them later on to try and make the positions. But if you don't burn them early on to get yourself in that position at the end of the race, then you're not going to have that ability to have used them in the latter phase of the race anyway. So that's why he burned his aggressively off. I mean, drivers are going to be burning them. Bulalasa is it a really good opportunity here for him? Bunch of drivers throughout the field, you know, out of position. I'm looking at Rashad Craig, who's, you know, he's car number 16 within the server, and look at him, he's running up in P5. Andrew Wood, car 14, running in 10th. Bulalasa, 12 car, running in 9th. A lot of drivers within the field that have had drivers ahead of them have a rough night, and it's exactly what I said. Keep the car on circuit, keep circulating, look after that nose cone, and you come away in the positive.
If you look after the car's going to look after you, and the track will also look after you as well. Just well, you really got to keep things safe. A safe car to first finish, you must finish. Well, to finish first, you must first finish. And if you don't scratch the paint, it's going to make you happy and your team happy as well. And especially sponsors, you don't have, and especially your sponsors, you don't have to pay for a new logo.
Benefits of iRacing, don't have to pay for the car.
Yes, that is a great benefit. Probably my favorite benefit, that every time that you just get into the grass and blow up into the wall, you don't have to deal with somebody yelling at you. Like, what'd you do it?
Oh, you don't money shift on purpose sometimes, just for fun?
If I do that, I just throw money at people on Twitch.
Well, that's one way to do it.
It is one way to do it. Extremely impractical. Don't do it.
Let's take a look at the series ahead, because like this is only week 1 and this is race 1, and there's been a lot of guys that have fallen by the wayside. I heard Lorenzo in the chat talking about it. Next week is going to be at Long Beach, which is going to be phenomenal. You know, that race is going to be close. There's going to be lots of front wings missing there.
Yeah, Long Beach, 44 laps over at Long Beach. So we're staying in California. And, oh, man, the California sun is going to be beaming down there, and everyone's going to be having a good time. Street circuit racing coming here next week for the IndyCars, and then followed in week 3, not 13. We're going to our first oval at Phoenix, which is a very classic oval for these IndyCars. It's the current oval, so we aren't going to have the classic oval, which is by far the, quote, superior, if you watch IGP Fun oval. The Team I5G guys.
Nashville Super Speedway is the following round, week 4. That's going to be a phenomenal race, I think.
That's going to be a really tricky round to see, because it's such a bumpy track with the concrete on there, and just trying to find the right aero balance is going to be very tricky. And we might see a lot of interesting things happen there. Then we're going out of the country and heading to Zandvoort in week 5.
Unfortunately, that's going to be a little bit of a procession. It's much the same as here, very difficult to overtake. Great track, phenomenal driver's track. There are a lot of circuits around the world that I think are phenomenal driver's tracks, and Zandvoort Park is another one of those, but it's horrific to race at because it's so difficult to get a move done. And then following that's probably my favorite.
Until #soon update.
And then probably my favorite track on the iRacing schedule comes the week after that, which is Auto Club Speedway. I'm really looking forward to that round.
Rest in peace until we get the half mile. Look at this switchback move for 10th place. Big send up onto the inside for Gonzaga, but Pinheiro coming off the switchback right now and pushed the pass down the front straight. Pinheiro defending for 10th place, and the fight for 10th is absolutely on fire between these two.
Pinheiro can get something done now, because keep your eyes on that car up ahead. That's Wood as well. Wood, from memory, was on that alternative tire, so he's on the
Woodford. Woodford was on the alternative
Woodford?
tire.
Oh.
We got Wood and Woodford. Hope it doesn't get confusing.
Well, look, I mean, keep your eyes forward.
Actually, Woodford has disconnected from the server, I believe, so we have another drop from connection. Woodford's out, and Van der Zandt's back into the pit lane.
That's unsettling. Van der Zandt's been off the road a fair bit. I'm wondering whether or not that's a drive-through for penalty limits.
Oh, it might be. It could be a drive-through for Van der Zandt, but he is stopped in his box. So,
okay, there you go. All right, never mind.
might be damaged as well. He's been in there for 40 seconds, which is on pace. Yeah, he's really got a lot of damage on that car. It's not on pace. I am so sorry. This isn't GT racing.
You can't just bang wheels and hope it comes out. A lot of talk at the moment coming through from Joshua Chin on the in-race radio as well. I think he's trying to get a little bit more aggressive with Harrington. He might have backed things off, been a little bit more conservative for a little bit, because he did have to save some fuel. He pit a little bit earlier. So, look, I mean, there's an opportunity here for him, and I think he's going to have a go here in the next couple laps. Yeah, and
if he's talking with the driver ahead, it might be just like, hey, I'm not a fan of what you did up there, or hey, watch out, it's going to get really tight. Usually in the later of the race, all these guys already know each other. The top split of these series, everyone really stays in the same Discord, stays in the same clique of drivers, and they all know each other. They're all friends. But when you get on out on the track, your best friends become your enemies. But you really do get to know all of these drivers when you get really up into the top echelon of iRacing levels. It becomes pretty much your own club racing circuit.
It kind of does, because it's similar to league racing. Is probably the thing that I'd like to compare it to the most. You're going to be racing against the same sort of guys week in, week out. So it means you're going to keep pushing yourself. You know who you're really racing and what you're racing for. So if you don't step up, you don't perform, then you know exactly what's going to happen. If you make a silly move or you run your mouth a little bit, well, that's going to cost you in weeks coming forward, because you're going to be up against these guys over the coming weeks, and you just cannot afford to do so.
Yeah,
it's one of those things, Austin, where it's like, what's the benefit? There really isn't none. What's the negatives? There's a lot of negatives that come from making enemies.
Yeah, you do not want to. The only benefit I see in making enemies is the will to push yourself to the limit to beat that one enemy that you have. And I don't know if you've ever had a childhood rival where it's like, I need to beat this person no matter in what. For me, it was math. And I succeeded, and then they switched schools and I just became horrible at it. But that's not the point. I pushed myself to just give better grades than this one person.
And you know, all those guys that were sitting at school like, oh man, math's not my strong suit, I'm just going to leave it alone. Now you come into iRacing. Well, if you didn't want to play math, then you shouldn't have joined it up to iRacing, because the whole thing is math.
Yeah, shocks math, laps with laps go
fuel.
Math, fuel, math, time, math.
Well, very importantly, is the conversions from metric to imperial math.
Oh my! Don't get me started on it. Thankfully, iRacing allows you to select which one you can do.
Yeah, but like if you run a lot of ovals, say like me, I've got to convert all the time for my American buddies. So.
Just learn the right system.
Oh, all right. Settle down there. Austin, I think you were a little too excited for IndyCar this week.
Nah, this is normal.
Keep in mind, as I had, look, I mean, anecdotal. That's where I was going with this. Anecdotally, there's a league that I commentate tonight in Australia, and they have a couple of professional V8 supercar drivers that join in for a little bit of fun. It's literally their wind down some time. One of the league admins gave the guy, one of the V8 supercar drivers, fuel numbers for that week. Turns out he underfueled. He gave him the wrong number.
Spin of the carousel.
And that's one of the leaders too.
No, that was Lemlin.
Oh.
Yeah. Right in front of the leaders though, so I can understand the panic. I got a little bit excited. Here's a replay.
This is short.
Yeah, this is Charles, just a little bit too wide, locked up on the entry, came across the grass, spun around, kept it parked right there. Very smart. He's actually got side pod damage as well.
Well, I mean, you flatten that car out across that section. If you don't get damage, he's basically, the thing is, when you go off track there, it basically slams the floor into the ground, because you've got all the downforce that's working, the car's jumped up, and then it's coming back down as well, so you've got a whole bunch of gravity. So, look, it wouldn't surprise me if you picked up a bunch of damage from that one. That is one of the corners that you just cannot afford to get wrong.
Yeah, these Indy cars, their floors are really durable. Unlike other series of cars where floors are just absolutely fragile. LMP cars, F3, F3.5, and
Etc.
yeah, anything with
Yeah.
in front of it. Except
Well,
for
okay,
F2000.
look, one of the benefits of iRacing as well is your driving aren't get hurt, because that would have hurt.
Yes, that really would have hurt. I don't know if you bottom out a car on a racetrack on a single seater, but I've hit a few curves in my life. Oh man, they're not fun.
Yeah, so yeah, the story, yeah, basically, series admin didn't do math right, gave a professional racing car driver incorrect fuel numbers, ran him out of fuel, and gained a place out of it.
Huh?
Yeah, do math. Math, kids. Math is good for you.
Or actually have a fuel calculator that works.
Yeah, that one. That.
If you can't do math, hire a crew chief. Preferably one using SDK Gaming.
Yeah, well, product placement. There you go.
Hey, they gave us these beautiful overlays to use. If you want to find out more, go to sdkgaming.co.uk. Tell them Austin sent you.
No. Let's give the commissioner Marco here.
Okay.
Marco does a great job.
Marco's the one who gave me the script anyway. I just read
it. Tell him Apex Racing TV sent you. We'll all get it. Oh. Well, look, race is hotting up. I think we've got 4 laps remaining. Like, if you're going to send it, now's the time. Any of those push-to-passes you got left over, start burning them.
Absolutely. And this is when you really got to use those push-to-pass. And, well, Philip Cross, I don't think he really needs to use any push-to-pass. He's 21 seconds out of the field. But that battle for second place all the way down to 5th. Our top 5 drivers are actually out of push-to-pass. And we have a few drivers that still have 10 push-to-passes left.
Is it like an achievement to come home with 10 push-to-passes? It's like coming home and being like, yeah, I got 5 sets of tires over the other side of the fence.
Yeah, it's either, hey, I didn't push the car enough, or I forgot to bind it to a button. Because let me tell you, I've done that.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Got a new wheel on the off season, you use it, and you just forget to bind the button.
This is actually really, really close. Keep your eyes on Chin. Chin is... I mean, I know these guys are teammates between Chin and Harrington, but I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot, if Chin was maybe ahead, then Harrington... I think Chin could have had a crack at Adam Crane, I'll put it that way. So how they handle that within the team this week, that's very important for these guys. Like, at the end of the day, I can say all of this, and I can be completely and utterly wrong. That's the best part. And whether or not that these guys have in-team issues or not, I don't know. I can't manage that. I'm not... I'd love to be a fly on that wall, because that is really where the teams come together, or whether they fall apart. Is you've got a race scenario like this. You've got 2 drivers out on track, but at the same time, these guys can't afford to swap position. They've got Rashad Craig right in behind them. If they take the time to pull out and attempt to issue team orders, Rashad Craig's going to just send it on one of them, and they're potentially all at risk. So keeping the order, unfortunately, is the best way to go here.
Also has 1 push to pass left, as both the cars ahead of it did not have push to passes. So Rashad Craig can definitely catch up and ride the coattails of this overtake right here. Chin's caught up a lot to Harrington, and they are really close to each other, as Adam Crane ahead of him is using his final few push to passes right now as they come across the line. 2 laps to go here at Laguna Seca.
Run down into the Andretti hairpin. Like, it just seems like the last sector of the lap is where Harrington's really, really struggling. It's really bad, though, now, because he's really starting to back his teammate up into Rashad Craig. He's got to either let this one go. He's quarters off track. This is crucial. This is crucial. Can Chin get this done? He's wide again. He's struggling. Those tires are gone.
Yeah, those tires are really gone for Connor Harrington. He's struggling a lot. Chin is right there, and Craig is there as well. Oh, this could get bad for Connor Harrington if he continues to stay ahead of Joshua Chin. But knowing these drivers and teams, this is not a league. You don't get team championship points. You here are racing yourself. You could be affiliated with other drivers, but they're gonna race it to the end. 1 lap to go. White flag here at Laguna Seca.
Keep your eyes a little bit further back in the pack as well. The battle for P7, P8, I believe, is heating up at the moment as well. So this isn't just the only one.
Coming onto the front straight, Richard Craig not using his final push to pass. He is waiting for that opportunity to show up right there as Connor Harrington leads the fight for third into the Andretti hairpin for one last time.
Where's he going to set it up? I don't think he's close enough right now. If he's going to get this move done, it's probably in the final sector of the lap. He's got to get it down there coming off of the corkscrew. They're a long way ahead, a very, very long way ahead. So the most that they're going to lose is one spot to Craig. That's it.
They don't want to lose any spots, but they do have a disadvantage with push to pass. But Craig also needs to know that he does have one push to pass to go, but somebody who doesn't need any more push to pass. 23.5 seconds in the lead. Philip Cross dominates round one and hits the wall celebrating.
Yeah, great win from him, but still keeping my eyes back. They're coming down the hill now, and it's not close enough. It's not going to happen. I'm wondering whether or not that push to pass has been burned from Rashad Craig.
It has not, as Adam
So
Craig is going to come home in second place. The fight for third is going to be a little bit of a drag race. It's going to be Connor Harrington coming home in third, followed by Chin and Craig in fourth and fifth place.
Yeah, good race in the end by the teammates. I'm a little disappointed for Chin. I think he had a lot more pace there that he could really show, but he'll get that opportunity throughout the season. They'll switch the orders later in the season for sure.
Yeah, they're really going to have to get a little bit more time together on track and get everything working. But hey, good round, good race by them. They got a team on the podium and third and fourth. That's it. Hey, I wouldn't be mad about that at all. Just a little bit of squabbling right there, but hey, opening round of the season, that can happen. As Kraus driving that perfectly untouched car on his victory lap, or he might be out of fuel. But he is your winner. There we go, all caps. Philip Kraus from West Palm Beach, Florida. And, absolute wonderful, wonderful drive by him today.
Yeah, really clean, really consistent. Vaz contested him at one point, and Vaz made a mistake, but, there was only one driver that kept it clean right the way through.
Phil Kraus comes home with the win. Crane joins him on the podium with Connor Harrington in third place, followed by Joshua Chin, Rashard Craig, Tyler Maxson in sixth, followed by Andreas Ike, Kevin Bojashala, and Andrew Wood and Gonzaga in 10th place. Pinheiro and Gregorio in 12th, followed by Yoshikawa in 13th, Charles Eric Lemlin in 14th, Dino Mazzano in 15th, followed by Jonathan Schwartz, Alex Van der Zandt, and Andrew Marquez in 18th. Will Height. Thank you. In 19th, followed by Ross Woodford. Vaz in 21st with a very unfortunate incident for him coming out of the pits. That was a good fight we were watching for the lead. Unfortunately, for him, had that incident.
Big shout out to Rob Uncle Next, Tyler Newitt, James Clay, Dan Piazza, and Christian Otarola, who ran out the field as well. And shout out to James Clay's team. LeMayo, imagine having a team.
Yeah, absolutely. And read that. Nice job, James. Well, you can absolutely name yourself have some fun with the SDK Gaming driver information app to get your face on to stream and all that stuff. And yeah, thank you all for joining us here for the iRacing IndyCar Open Series here, week 1 on Apex Racing TV. I've been joined by Scott Rakin with Marco Bobanero in the production booth, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.